Nafula in the village. Nafula in the village. Ataenda Java saa ngapi? But she still manages to get a husband. You know. So when we say dating, what do we mean? You know, somebody in Taita huko in the middle, you tell me ana date aje. No, ana date aje. Si anakuanga amebeba mtungi ameenda.
Kuna version yake.
Yeye ameenda kuchota maji kwa mto, alafu kuna ule boy mwenye anakuanga hapo hivyo akikata nyasi. And they just have a moment of si anaweza kata nyasi. Huyu anaweza beba maji. You know,
like he can smoke with you.
Yes, and then you arrive, and then all of a sudden, Nafula and Nani are like, yo, see, we do this thing.
When dating, there's a lot of pretense. Okay. For lack of a better word.
Camera, action.
It's always like you know that when we say, choose me, pick me.
Yes.
It's always that.
Everybody has their best
on the
foot forward,
both sides. And then when you start living with this person, then you see their true colors. Then you see
they also see your true colors.
They see your true colors.
Moses Bede keep us on time, eh?
Every 10 minutes.
Oh, so get to be on your cigarette. I'd be worried what is wrong with the box.
20 minutes.
I can wait. What? You lift it up?
So every 10 minutes.
He lifts it up.
Where? Kama ungetuambia. How can we not see
us
though?
To know the time. Well, the question. Corey, what's the question?
What do girls consider when they're settling down?
Nico, ready?
Girls
Are we?
look at.
Shall we? We're rolling. Oh, guys, we're rolling. So guys.
Let me be my princess. So.
Welcome back to More to Follow. Sorry, there was a lot of banter going around, so pole nimeanza na kicheko. Anyway, as you can see today, we have beautiful guests in the studio, and it's only the girls, so we're wearing pink. So no masculine energy here. Okay? And I'll start by letting the guests introduce themselves, then we can introduce ourselves and tell you how this episode will go on today. Shall we?
Yes, we shall. By all means. So, my name is Velma Obuya. I am a 9-to-5 mom podcaster, and it's a pleasure to be part of this podcast today.
Hi, I am Kanali Okusi, and I'm also part of the 9-to-5 Moms podcast.
Meskia hapo 9-to-5
Moms.
Go subscribe, follow, share, everything. Anyway.
Yes, please.
Just 1 minute. Maybe you can tell us what 9-to-5 Moms is about.
Yeah.
Well, you look the storyteller.
Yes.
Well, 9-to-5 Moms is a podcast that tells the story of what a 9-to-5 mom is. When we say 9-to-5, we're not really saying career women, because sometimes it's easy for somebody to mistake the 9-to-5 to mean the career woman. We just mean women who are in their childbearing stage and women who are in different spaces, which would include, the workplaces. And the reason why we are using the workplace 9-to-5 as the symbol of our podcast is because we noticed that there's a lot of untold stories about what that really looks like. It's been romanticized over how women survive in workplaces, especially when they transition into motherhood. So we decided to open up a platform where we tell our stories based on our experience in workplaces, then how we transitioned from, being girls, women, then now taking care of family, and what those challenges look like, and also the glorified versions of it, which tend also to be hiding in those stories. So our podcast primarily is a storytelling podcast where we're trying to amplify the voice of mothers in different environments where they are not heard. So that's in a nutshell what 9-to-5 Moms is all about.
And also just to mention, it's purely from personal experiences.
Yes.
So basically real life stories.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Amazing.
Mind blown.
Yeah.
We haven't introduced ourselves.
Please do, yes.
Tuliambiwa pia sisi ni guest. The men took over, and for a minute we were guests, but we've taken over now. So, Corey, you want to begin?
I am Judy Corey, one quarter of... I forgot we have another half.
Yes, well, in this episode, it's just one half.
It is. Of More to Follow. Yeah, and
She's our last one. Lovely. And I'm Konene as usual. Anyway, if RJ was here, we'd have a would you rather.
no, we don't do that.
We don't
we can leave that
as
to
girls.
you.
Straight to the point. Okay. Today's topic is a bit controversial, but bear with us. The men had their say. Now it's our time to have our say. So, speaking from experience, the 9 to 5 moms will give us an experience of how probably they chose their partners, or what was the what was the criteria they used to choose their partners. But the big question and big topic of today is, what did we look for, or what are we looking for when settling down? And settling down means getting married, getting a partner, getting children, all that.
And also just to recap from the other episode, we had the guys talk about what they consider when they're settling down. Oh, they're choosing someone
They're
to settle
choosing
down
their
with.
partners, yeah.
One key thing that became a debate in our episode was there's a difference between dating and being in a relationship.
For
yeah.
sure.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Yo.
From the other side,
Wait,
yes.
you were contesting that?
You
I
contest-
think what to you is dating and what is being
In a
what's the
relationship.
difference? Where is the line being drawn in this case?
Yeah.
Okay.
From my experience, when dating, there's a lot of pretense. Okay. For lack of a better word.
Camera. Action.
It's always like you know that when we say choose me, pick me.
Pick me, yes.
It's always that.
Everybody
I
has their
feel
best
on
foot
the
forward,
both
yeah.
sides. And then when you start living with this person,
Where?
then you see their true colors. Then you see
They also
where
see your true colors.
they
please,
see
eh?
your true colors. Then you see where you have to compromise. You see where you have to sacrifice. Once you live with the person, that's when you actually get to know them for sure.
Okay, let me correct something there just slightly so that we don't give a contradictory description of what dating is. You don't really necessarily have to live with them first.
Okay.
I am of a strong opinion that given time, somebody's true nature
They always
comes out. And which, for me, I feel like if you go back to the natural instincts as to how men and women ended up in relationships, even apes, even animals, it's an innate experience for anything that is animal. Your instincts are based on survival. So even for a woman, when you're choosing a man or when you're being chosen, it's purely a jungle game. It's not your perception. It's your instincts making a decision that if I'm going to what this one looks like, they can fight. They will protect me. Whether
That's
you like it or
true.
not, it's not something you think you are deciding. It's your human nature to pick somebody who, when you go to war, you are sure they will protect you.
That's true.
If not, you are certain that they will not protect you. There's a level of madarau you will have.
For them.
You will have it. You will want to pretend you won't have it. You will have it. One day, one way or the other, as I say, as nature is, your true belief on how you feel about that person will come
show.
out. Yes. If it was a compromised partner, you did it because of, it will still show. So with the time, your true nature comes out, whether you like it or not. So dating, as she was saying, dating as is commercially presented, and I'm using the word commercially presented because I feel like we've been sold, the media has played a part again in selling us a perception of what dating should look like versus what dating is. If you talk to the older couples or older friends, they'll tell you we've really bought into Hallmark, we've really bought into drama stories, we bought it.
Yeah. Kwanza soap
Yeah,
operas.
so you ask yourself, Nafula in the
I'm a
village,
victim, yeah.
Nafula in the village, ataenda Java sangapi, but she still manages to get a husband. So when we say dating, what do we mean? Somebody in Taita huko in the middle, you tell me, ana date aje? No, ana date aje? Si anakuanga amebeba mtungi ameenda.
Akona version yake.
Yeye ameenda kuchota maji kwa mto, alafu kuna ule boy mwenye anakuanga hapo hivyo akikata nyasi. And they just have a moment of msi anaweza kata nyasi. Huyu anaweza beba maji.
Like he can smoke with you.
Yes, and then you arrive, and then all of a sudden Nafula and Nani are like, yo, see we do this thing. Hey, kidogo ngombeza go. Like, really think about it. We've bought so much that is not true. Yeah, if you go back to the basics of what dating is, it's just for me, I tend to look at kindergarten kids if you ever meet a 5-year-old boy who is liking a boy, you will see what dating should really look like. They are just like, oh, Nani is so cute, and Nani is so cute. And then they're just like, I bought an apple for my friend. It's really simple. We don't have to do the javas. We don't need to do those long
We
walks.
don't
It's so natural.
We don't need to do majimoto.
Yeah, usifanye hizi vitu artificial. Hizi vitu artificial at some point uko mbele. Let me tell you, kana kuramba. You have no idea.
You will cry.
You shall cry premium tears.
They took over the whole episode.
Okay, but
No, but they do have valid points.
yes, what's dating? And like even look at the Indian
Who do the matchmaking?
yes, and then you see they start off shy around each other, like
With the arrangement.
then arrangement, then kidogo you see they can hold hands. Then kidogo they're really nice friends. They can sit and have conversations, and you're like, they didn't do the Java thing. They didn't do the talking stage. How can it be successful?
Or like judging, where do you take me?
Where do you take me? Like, I feel like we bought a lot of things, and that's where the definition of it. And I think we spend too much time trying to sell what has commercially been sold to us, so that we're picture perfect and just to go back to the
Instagram
story.
worthy.
Yes, in dating, relationship, we're confusing too many things.
Thank you, because I
Yes.
think you've also helped unwrap, or rather like sort out a lot of the things we were having in the previous episode. I'll ask 3 questions. One, someone said dating ideally should take 6 months before you know whether, ideally the time frame to consider, because they said someone is not able to act or put up a facade for as long, so 6 months is a good time to start gauging whether this is someone serious or it's going anywhere. The second is, what would you describe dating, not in this age, like what is the purpose of dating in the initial stage? Because the other discussion that came about is, if you're dating, it means you can see multiple people at the same time, and that is what the difference, what I got from the previous episode is, dating can be that, and then in a relationship is, I don't think we even got to settle what a relationship is.
Or what should actually pick if you were picking.
That's also true. And also the difference for men is that they, especially when they're dating, there's someone they pick as a girlfriend, and then there's someone they'd end up picking for a wife, who tend to be completely 2 different people. You'll see a guy alikuwa anasema tu mtu amezoea kwenda na mtu wa sherehe, mtu very outgoing, and then by the time they're settling down, it's like the calm woman who's submissive, kupika. I don't know why, but there's that difference sort of came out from the previous episode, and I'd want to know what your thoughts are.
Wow. What was the first question?
I think start with
Time frame for dating.
For time frame, for sure, I agree. I can't really say there's a timestamp to it.
Yes,
I think
please.
when you know, you know. That's
Yes.
my thing. And I think it
I
applies
have
also
known
for
overly
men.
and overly again.
Okay,
You've
allow
gone wrong.
Sweetie, let me just back it up for her. And again, let me go back to a primary instinct that I am still saying. You know the way you feel hunger? Unasikianga thirst. Ukisikia thirst unakunywa maji. Ukisikia njaa, like your body goes like, we need food. Aki, to be very honest, Aki, and I'm being honest, this might sound dirty, but your productive, your reproductive system is the one that is determining it.
Hey, what if I was just asking?
No, you're just, that's what I'm saying. You must be able to
Quench.
I'm quenching a postnat.
So let me explain this differently. Maybe I've started it wrongly. Let me tell you.
Okay.
And this is coming from I'm trying to switch from a man's perspective. When a man knows, they know. When a man knows, they know. And when I say a man, I've not said a boy. Those are 2 different things. The problem is, most of us are out here dating boys. Yes. If your criteria of settling is to settle with a boy, you have issues.
Accept it.
Okay. But if you want a man, he will know. You will know. A man is different from a boy. And we must be able to clarify that. A man is different from a boy. A man is so well aware of their role in this
I feel
life.
like we've gotten the title
Yes.
for this episode. Is there a difference between
There
a
is.
man and a boy?
Yes, a boy will not know when to settle. A man knows what they need. It's not a discussion for them. I'll tell you from my personal story. My husband told me the first day he saw me, without discussion, it was just like, shoot. I found my wife. I was like, nigga, please. Please. Me, I'm a young spring chicken. I have things to do in this life. And it was like, you'll run around, but you'll come back. Don't worry.
Funny enough, that's always
That's
the story,
what
by
he
the
says.
way.
It's like,
But-
don't
but
worry.
look at it this
Don't
way.
worry. So what I'm trying to tell you is, we're also lacking self-awareness. We're also lacking self-awareness. And we must be honest with ourselves. Work on yourself, Bana. Sort your issues.
My question to you
Yeah.
is, do you think it's a generational difference? Because to be honest, look at you have been married for 10 years.
Yes.
Meaning men back then in 10 years were different from the men we have
No.
in the pool right now.
Let me tell you, honey, I've met young men and not boys. I have met men who are 25. I have met men who are 20. I have met men who are 19. And when I say that, I really mean it in a sense that these are people probably who have gone through so much in life. They've been able to sort out the clutter.
That's true.
They've sorted out the clutter in their life. They know what they're looking for. They know what they want, and you can meet them even.
And
in
they will
offices.
not waste time.
They don't waste time. Have you ever met those people who know like this life is short? I have this little time to do this, and then they're not into these pump things. I need to do. No.
Can
They
we also
know. Yeah.
can we also talk about how they swoop you off your feet,
Yes.
literally,
Yes.
before you realize you're actually in this.
Yes,
You're already
in
deep.
it. You're in it, like 3 children in, and you're just like,
Sis.
"Wait, you guy, you need to go
Get
out."
away.
No, I was even telling her, like, randomly, I wake up, like, my house is noisy, and I'm like, I used to be 16. Like, what happened? And then I'm like, oh, dinner. Okay, breakfast.
Imagine.
Oh, cake. Then, yeah, and sometimes I'm in discussions, and they are deep, like, because our rent is due, nini. I'm like, Mimi. Mimi na discuss rent.
This
Mimi
guy
mwenye
made
mtoto
you
wa
a
mami.
wife,
Like,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So when I'm saying there's a difference, I really can I give you my sister advice?
Yeah.
It's not your job to look for the man.
Ooh. Mic check, drop.
It is not
Period.
your
Dot.
job to look for
Period.
a man. A man will
Period.
present themselves. So you know what? Be in your feminine energy. In fact, at some point we were discussing it. Just be in your feminine energy. Nigga will drop. And then you will see it from where-
independent women.
No, what about independent? You can be independent. There's no problem with you being independent, but just have your feminine energy out here. Nobody wants to. If you're not playing for the other team, you don't want to date that team. You get what I mean? So if you're looking for a woman, why am I trying to look for a masculine woman? No, ask a man who's masculine. Why am I looking for a masculine woman? Tunafanya nini kwa nyumba ndume mbili? No, what are we doing together in the house? You know.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, and Kanali can assure you, I've also seen her around her partner. She's also seen me around her. You know this noisiness. My friend, nigga walks in here, you're quiet. all your dini
Automatically.
on top. Yani hata si wewe. Yani even you have an outer body experience is like, I am a tough woman. Then you just like, tunakula nini? Wacha nikaangalie kwa jikoni.
Yeah.
You unajituma tu hata ujui kwa nini umejituma, or randomly just like,
And also, it just feels good to do the things as well.
Ama atakwambia it's time to go home. You won't discuss it with anyone else. You just
unamwambia,
like, let me get my pass.
Let's go.
Twende nyumbani. Yes. So it is not your job, and I'm saying this in all honesty. And let's again, there's something I need to clarify as well as we're talking about. Also, let's not over glamorize. We're not saying that it's perfect, but there's nothing perfect on this earth.
Period.
It's a companionship. It's a friendship relation. Let me now tackle the relationship aspect. The same way, and I once had this conversation with Kanali, and it was such an honest conversation. And for me, because I told her, I hang out with older women who have been through, they've done the whole, the divorce, the staying, they've done all these things, and they are able to sit you down and tell you, look, honey, if you make a decision on somebody, you have made it. So make peace with your decision. Don't start coming out telling people how marriage is bad. Your marriage is bad. Yours is bad.
Not
Deal
all
with
of them.
yours. Deal with yours. Seek counseling, sort your problems. It's not our problem. Okay. If your marriage is good for you. It means you've done your homework. Both of you've done your. So it's okay. So let's not romanticize. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It requires a lot of grace. It's the same way as friends. And I find it so sad that we as friends, especially same gender, you extend so much grace on each other. But when it comes to your partner, you have zero tolerance, you have no patience. He's done this and done that. And yet you have a narcissistic girlfriend of yours who takes money from you every time, comes late for all your things, talks back at you, talks around you. But you forgive her every single time. However, when it comes to your partner, You're out here with a microphone. Alifanya. She's your friend. You're sharing a bed, bana. Go sort it out. It's not our public problem. So again, let me go back to the relationship aspect so that I don't digress. It's a friendship. It's companionship. It is based on what you're looking for. And at the same time, you need to work on yourself. Please work on yourself. Work
True
on yourself.
that.
Deal with yourself. Because what a relationship does, it brings out the things you haven't sorted out in
wow.
yourself.
Yes.
Yes. Sitting with somebody for long. Even your own mom right now. There are things like, are cringe when you just like, mom, bana.
Yeah, actually,
Imagine.
that's the truth.
Yes,
Yeah.
even your own parents. So when you are self-aware, you worked on yourself, and you know for sure I'm ready for this. You just, wait, be patient, tolerate it, and sometimes if it's meant to be, it will happen. Don't force issues.
Yeah.
So there's no settling per se. I wanted to just say, but there's no settling per se. Natural course of life. Natural course of life. There are people who are lucky enough to get good partners. There are those who end up not being lucky enough to get good partners. And if that doesn't happen, move on. Don't force things.
I feel like I've been schooled.
And in such a short time, allow me to ask this. You said we ought to do our homework, especially if you're looking to have a good relationship, even marriage, if that's the aim the relationship has.
Yeah.
What is the assignment in this case for someone who's looking for a long-term partner?
Yeah.
What would you say are key? I know different women, you have different criteria, different prerequisites. What would you say, like what would be the foundation of a good relationship?
Kanali ebu answer, miss nimonge mob bana.
Okay, so it's a foundation.
Foundation.
I know the one thing we've been told a lot is you have to be friends.
Yeah.
And communication is also key. But I'm wondering from this standpoint, from single ladies and bado not in the dating scene, what should I keep an eye out for? When you say men, what's the word? Men will find you will know the difference between a man and a boy. Maybe that is where we can start.
Okay.
The
discussion
foundation.
from.
I'm waiting for. Kanali, you're still thinking.
I'm still
foundation.
thinking. I'm just like, Unja, I'm still going back to my own experience because that's the only
Yeah.
experience I have
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
And it still goes back to my needs are not your needs when it comes to a partner. So you will definitely know. I still stand by you will know. When you know, you will know. So whatever you decide, because most of the time,
I'm like, do I know? I think that's the question that Julie said. Do I
Actually,
know? Have I
yeah.
known?
Asking myself the same question
Have
every
I known?
time.
I'll tell you what. And I'm using storytelling for this one. My 5-year-old, was watching How to Train a Dragon, Hidden World. We've watched it like 4 times. We've been watching the series enough times. And she came and told me, Mom, I like Hiccup. I was like, you're 5. Why are you liking Hiccup? Then she's like, he's brave.
Wow.
And I was like, He's like, yeah, that's why he got married. I was like,
Wow.
oh. So I was like, let me explore this. Then she asked me, so why did you like Dad? And I was just like, because Dad was kind.
There you go.
And for me, that was my foundation. That's why she's saying it's different needs. For me, I think I had experienced a lot of unkindness. A lot. And the only thing I wanted I felt like I'm a kind person. And I was hoping I could meet another kind person on earth. And I really, I would try and scout for kindness. So when kindness was my foundation, because I was like, if I can get somebody kind to me, and kind, like I can see kindness that is not pretentious, I'd be more than happy to be with a kind person. Okay. So to somebody else, it can be brave. To somebody else, it can be provision. So that becomes your foundation, and it becomes, as I call it, a compass that helps you decide. So that even, everything that people put on top of each other in terms of layers, you can see that. You can see that. And I'm also a spiritual person. So I think if you sit with yourself enough, there's a voice. There's a God's voice will tell you when something is pretentious. You will know.
But
You
such
just
a
have to
we
listen.
don't listen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just try and listen.
Somebody said we treat God as a genie in a bottle. You just want to rub.
When
Something
you
comes
need
out.
it.
Yes.
You rub.
It's
I
the same
wish
way when
you
we
answered.
pray we ask God, please, if this is not it, remove it. But you don't want it to be removed at the time. So
Kianza kutoa mna fight. I'm like,
In fact, now please shape this one to be the one.
Why? Or you find yourself praying for
But I
the
think
person.
also something that we need to put across, that's I think something that it's just a discussion point as well is don't use time as a determining factor to what you'll settle. Yeah, don't use time. Going back to what we're saying, God exists outside time. Time is a human concept. So what you think is eternity is really a short time. Yeah. So you can meet the love of your life in your 70s. It doesn't mean you had 70 terrible years, does it?
That's true.
No. So
Very true.
let's not stop doing the we must date for 6 months. We must no.
Let's not put a time stamp.
Let me tell you, surf. You've seen how surfers go. Just go with the tide. Ikianguka imeanguka imeenda.
Unaanguka nayo.
Next. And let me tell you, that's how in my 20s I was able, I think, to arrive where I am. Because before I would be like, no, it should be like this, it should be like that. I used to tell a friend when I planned my life till 25. When things went south in 25, I was like, yeah. So humans are not in control of this thing. Okay, switch. We're surfing. From then on, things like God presents them and I participate. I'm just like, is this your will?
29.
Let's
20.
go.
I think this is a conversation most of us need to have as women because, to be honest, going back to my background, going back to what my aunties, moms will tell me is you have a time limit.
And it's something you've been
Una-
told that okay,
It's even in my head. Like sometimes, like when I turned the age I turned this year, I was like, oh shit.
And unaogopa kusema.
At the age I turned.
I'm running out, and mom is over there asking, so
unaleta mtu lini?
what's happening? What's happening in your life? And I'm like, okay, I'm enjoying it. To be honest, I'm not sad. I'm not feeling like I have a time limit to everything. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I'm enjoying my career. I feel like I'll grow even by myself before I'm able to get a partner. But they don't understand this. And those voices, sadly, are the voices that kind of shape us sometimes.
Yeah.
Because this is your mother. You talk to her every day. This is your dad. This is your sisters. These are the ones who will keep on telling you, like, hey, girl, you need to, like, it's like,
Changamka.
getting married is an achievement that every woman needs to have.
No, it's not.
And I know it's not, because even the Bible says there are people who will be passed by the wave of marriage. And it didn't say they won't be happy at any point. So means these women continue with their lives as good as is.
And let me tell you something. I can't understand parents now that I'm a parent. Before I used to not get it. Yeah. Then I understood why they behave like that. And then I understood the grace to extend to them as parents. When I was getting to that level, when I brought my partner home to my mom and I saw relief.
That's true.
Relief. Let me tell you, I was seeing the whole traditional thing and I'm like, this woman is so like she had
Thank you God for this miracle.
Thank you God for like that. Later on after they left, and I asked her mom, was it that bad? She told me, no, let me tell you the reality. I was scared of leaving this earth knowing that nobody else would love you as much as I loved you. And that was so deep for me. I was like,
What?
It hit me, even you as a parent, you'd want to leave your child in the hands of somebody who can die for them. Imagining to die without seeing your child with somebody who can take care of it's scary.
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
So when I saw my mom say that, and I was like, and the way she actually loves my husband, as a vis-a-vis the way she loves me, the conversation I should have with her, it is like she wants to pass on her love, her maternal love for me to him, so that she is sure that regardless of the situation, she's at peace. Let me tell you, my mom is so at peace with, like, she'd be like, mzee anaendelea aje? I'm like, who's mzee? Like, you calling me, so you call him and ask him how it's going on. But I get the grace. It's just them trying to have that safety net that their child is going to be okay. That because once you're a parent, you kind of, or there's something about passing on that love that is so important. And you see their pressure is not on the time, it's for them, because they're thinking they don't have enough time to be able to see it. So their prayer is to see it before it transitions. It's not pressure because of ticking the box. Yeah. So when you look at it like that, you extend a level of grace to them, because you're like, oh, I get it. Because let me tell you, your parents love you.
I know.
So much.
I know.
No, there's the one you know. Aki, but there's the one where in the middle of the night they wake up and they're like, hey, I hope ako sawa. Like, genuinely, like, let me go make a cup of tea and think, is she okay?
I know.
And then first thing in the morning at 6, it's a call. are you okay? I just thought about you. No, they didn't sleep because they were thinking about
Yeah,
you.
true.
Yeah. So that kind of love is what they hope you will be able to encounter, and then
This life.
yeah. So let me seal it at why we shouldn't. Sometimes it's negative, but when you really think about it, because they can't
actually
communicate it, it comes from love.
This is why we needed an elder sister to tell us this.
Oh, I
'Cause to
love
be
that.
honest,
Yeah.
I didn't
need
have
to
that
look at
foresight.
that angle.
Yeah. Even
at
your
any
aunties,
point.
it's the same thing.
It's true.
Yeah.
very
It's all
true.
love.
It's just
Oh,
love.
mommy, I love you. Hey.
Oh, to be honest, I felt it.
You
Like,
felt
now,
it?
mom's-
No, you're at ease.
know.
You're at ease.
Yeah.
Because
So
every time she's praying, she just wants to make sure I'm okay.
yeah.
Oh,
Because and then imagine there's nobody else who's gonna love you like that. And-
Absolutely.
Yes.
Very
so,
true.
So their hope
Very
is they can
true.
you can find somebody who's close enough to take a bullet. Like they, and they can see. Let me tell you, there's one I brought home, and my mom was just like,
Sister Joe.
kuna mwingine uko nje. I was like, aish, si uko mpole. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you're feeling I've achieved. She's like, ai. Then she's like, hapo mimi hapana. And they listen to your parents. So they can see.
oh, I listen because I've
Yeah.
had girlfriends that we've fallen out with, and my mom had warned me.
Yeah.
"Yes,
Uyo,
friend.
akibe
always
No friend, I'm not sure about that friend.
And now that we're parents, we can tell you can see how somebody looks at your child.
That
Even
is-
when they're
oh
not
my
looking. Even teachers, you can see you're just like,
It is true.
this one I have good intention. You when you're in the middle of it, you can't see how that person is looking at you. But your parent who's sitting from across, they can see. They're like, I sense that the tent of jealousy iko hapa hivi ni huyu aoni yako in love,
And I love how you say you know how much your parents love you, but when you become a parent, you understand
You
it
understand.
10 times. 10 times.
Ukiulizwa hata 10k unakopa tu
bro,
unafuliza
sis.
unapeana friend hata kuna story. Unaambia mama unataka.
If it's more than that, I don't want to faint in the love because my parents usually shower me with love to the point that people think I'm spoiled. So I'm like, I'm sorry, guys. I
There's
have
just
the
a
grace of
moment.
God giving me parents who really, really, really love me.
And that's
But
really
primarily,
good.
I feel like, again, as you're saying it, it's we don't get to give them grace. And I think we also had this conversation before once with you, Kanali.
Yes,
in
we
one
did,
of our shows.
especially
We were
our
saying,
moms.
We think they were never this age. They were. Did they go through these experiences? Yes, they did. So sometimes we look at them as if they didn't go through this. They did. They did. And
Been
they
there, done that.
Been there, done that. And then they can see it. And then they're just like, oops, don't do that. Let's turn this corner. And you might not take it with grace, but you need to extend a little bit of grace to them because they're doing it sometimes from a point of love. Though there's also the other side of narcissistic parents, which is a whole topic on its own.
Yeah.
But people can't give what they never had.
I love that. I love the foresight of
Also,
given.
sorry, do you feel like also when you were finding love, you also equated it to the love you experienced growing up with your parents?
Sisi watu wa 90s hatujui love ni nini. Si tulirejewa na
Tough love.
mboko, hata tujui
I also have tough love. To date, I forced my dad to say love you.
Eh.
I tell him I love you, and he's never said it to date. And I keep telling him, Daddy, one day you will tell me I love you whether you like it or before you die. You have to tell
Wacha
me I love
nikuulize.
you.
Wacha nikuulize.
Uliza.
Wacha niulize kiuriso. My mama asked me once, it's like, do you think me I was told I love you? I was like, even by your father, I was like,
That's the same thing. That's
So-
the same thing. But I kept on questioning my dad. There's one time my dad was in a very dire situation to the point we don't anaenda kwa baba. Nikamwambia, Daddy, I love you. But please,
He didn't-
please tell me you just love me before you leave this world.
Oh my days.
what
but
I
he
wanted.
probably does.
He does because I see what he does.
He does it, but he doesn't. This man, those who are kitambo are like,
He does. I know he does. but
Even
I
the
want to
mom.
hear
The
it. That's the thing. My words of affirmation. Tell me you love me.
You want to hear, you need to hear it.
Yeah, I see you every day calling me and telling me, oh, take care of yourself.
that is love, bana. Sasa unaona. Me
Yes.
now this is where now we switch to the Bible. Love, faith without action is dead, bana. Umse hapa kwa action wewe unataka uambiwe.
Just
believe it.
Okay.
No, sorry. There's something that you've said that would make me. There's something that you've said that I think also ties back to our conversation. You see, that's where the interpretation of what you understand in relationships come from. Okay, so your interpretation again comes from a blueprint that you have experienced. You can, as Kanali said, you can only know what you know. You cannot know what you don't know. So, how was love communicated? How did you see relationships being built in your home? You know, and again, I think that also goes back to the question of how do you start relationships? How do you date? Imagine it's the blueprint. How did you see it when you're growing up? And that's why I'm saying you must interrogate yourself and understand how you have experienced things. How have you familiarized yourself with those things? Give an example. you saw your mother make friends through church. Okay? You will assume that you will grow up assuming for you to make friends, you'll make friends where?
In church.
In church. Yeah. So you'll probably try to look for friends in church.
church.
And when church disappoints you, you'll be so confused because you won't know where to look for relationships.
Yeah.
So back to that moment is your definition of relationships and even how you date. What did you see growing up? Because then that helps shape what it is you will be looking for. Yeah. And I am a big advocate for exposure. You don't have to expose yourself. You might make as many friends as possible so that you can learn life through their experiences. You know? And when I say that, I mean don't be friends with 100 people per se, but you can have acquaintances. Make sure that you bond with people enough to understand where they're coming from, their story, so that you can learn from their story. So then you have a different viewpoint from
What you know.
The only thing you know. I didn't I'm similar to you. I didn't see love being expressed a lot where I grew up. But I met a friend, a very close friend of mine, whose parents celebrate anniversaries. And they're in their 70s. And let me tell you, I saw my friend's dad go on his knees at 65 to propose to my friend's mom again. And they took a video and they sent us like, hizi ni gani?
Hii ni nchi gani
mnaishi? And then when I sat with my friend's mom, and I remember she used to tell me every year they go to Mombasa. They don't care if they are broke, kuna school fees. They have 3 days in Mombasa every year to just appreciate that they've survived their children. They don't invite their children. And no, when I was camping with this friend of mine, she'd be like, Aki, madhia na mbuyu wameenda Mombasa. I'm like, hiyo saa inamaanisha tunapika sisi hakuna nini. So I was like, hey, what is that? I've never seen my parents go on vacation myself. But they used to take that time to just appreciate each other. And then they're like, okay, let's go back to the battlefield. Okay. So with that, I was able to know that is okay. I've experienced something that I didn't see growing up, which shaped how I looked at relationships also going forward. So I think with that statement we were saying about our parents not telling us, I love you, in some families it's done. And you'll see that the viewpoint of those people when it comes to relationship is different from us. So expose yourself as much as possible so that you redefine your worldview on what relationship should look like, then shape the kind of relationship you want.
I love that. I love that a lot. I know we're short of time, so I'll ask us to maybe give our parting shots. And I can start with you, Kanali. Like what advice, like singular advice, at least for anyone who's listening and probably zoned out, what's the one thing they should take out from this conversation?
No timestamps in relationships. Just go with the flow. Trust your gut. I know most of the time we don't listen to our inner voice, but please do.
I love that. I know you've said a lot. So
I
like
have,
in summary,
what do I say?
I guess I warned you guys.
But I also warned you guys. Yeah, I did.
We love it.
Yeah.
We love it.
My parting shot is, you have a short period of time in this life. Don't take it too damn seriously. Meet people.
Have fun with it.
As she said, times in your hapo kwa nini yako? Kwa tu hawataandika ati she had a body count of nobody cares. Nobody cares. Just be like, she lived, she loved.
Wow.
She died.
oh, I love.
She laughed.
Period. She laughed. At the end of the day, nobody will remember you past your third generation.
Wow.
Oh my God. Yes.
Nobody
Sad
will. Do you know your grandparents' friends? So
I didn't get to meet them.
you didn't. So third generation is a wrap. It was your grandparents, your parents, then you. Nobody cares.
Wow.
So live life. It's short. Be kind and you will meet whoever needs to meet you. If it's not meant to be,
It's not.
not meant to be. Next.
If I'm being honest, nasikia kuna pressure has been lifted. I don't know from what angle, but then I feel relieved.
Usa.
I'm like, okay, I can exist. I don't have to do so much within such a short
And by
period
the
of time.
before you even the last one, no titles.
No title.
Oh my
no
God.
titles.
By the way, that's
Ati, this is my
it.
fiance, this is my girlfriend. What I Easy
Oh
titles,
my days.
Easy titles ni gani? Please. Unaweza shinda umeambia watu how you're married and successful. In 2 weeks you're divorced.
Hey.
story imedash umerudi soko tena, so no titles. You are Cory, you are Cory, you're Kanali, you're Kanali.
Accept it, by the way.
Yeah.
My take home, I've
God
learned
damn.
to unlearn what I learned.
Yeah.
Simple. Just unlearn, redefine,
Yeah.
and go back to the battlefield.
Kanairo ni one bedroom.
Choose your fighter.
I'm choosing mine now.
Choose your fighter, by the way.
With all this knowledge, I feel like, mimi nimefika.
Good.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.